Hello everybody, it's Jose Luiz Morales and
Rosalina Torres with the Credit Store.
we're doing our fourth episode of the Jose Luiz Morales Show. Now, the reason I wanted to bring on Rosa Torres to our TV show is because one of the most common things that I hear when someone wants to buy a house is, I want to buy a house but my credit is not that good. So oftentimes when people say that, it's almost like they feel that they don't have an alternative or a resource that they can go to answer their credit questions. So Rosalina here works for
the Credit Store. We started the Credit Store about a year and a half ago in November 2015. The reason that we started the Credit Store is because I've been in the financial business for about 15 years. I started working at a payday advance company, checking to cash, for 5 years, and I started working for Wells Fargo Bank in the financial department, where I started as a credit manager and we focused on lending, for subprime lending. And then the last 5 years is as a banker at Wells Fargo Bank, and I was still in charge of the consumer lending. But I also saw the need of credit education and helping people not only apply for credit, but showing them how to restructure their financial debt that they currently have, or what are the options that they have other than the options that their banks are offering them.
And essentially what I tell people, they're like, well, I want to buy a house, but my credit's not that great. What I tell them is like, credit is fixable, right?
It's very, very fixable. You do not have to live with bad credit for 7 years. That's false. Things do stay on your credit for 7 years, but as a consumer, you have the right to pull up a copy of your credit report. Go to annualcreditreport.com, pull it up, you see your 3 credit reports, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax, and any items that are incorrect that are reporting, you can dispute them as a consumer. That's your right. So, and as soon as you dispute it, you have about 2 to 3 weeks for you to get a response, up to 30 days. But if it's not yours, by law, it has to be removed. And also, even if you have an open account that might have a 30-day late that has affected your credit, you can also write a goodwill letter. That's really fixable.
Yeah. So essentially what I tell people is you have options. Like when it comes to job history, it's either you have it or you don't. But when it comes to credit, people can fix their credit. There's people out there like Rosa that can take a look at your credit score, analyze it, and give you some helpful tips as to what needs to happen to improve the credit score so that you can become a homeowner. What I also see when it comes to credit is oftentimes there's a lot of people out there that give you free advice.
Correct.
There's a lot of people out there that are like, hey, get a car or put a car under your name or do this and do that. But what I always recommend is go visit a credit specialist instead of
see us.
Instead of self-diagnosing yourself, and then you'll guide them and you'll tell them, hey, this is what you have to do to be able to fix it, right?
Correct. That's exactly what I envision our business, our philosophy, to help consumers, families, people that are scared and don't know where to go to. They hear stories from their family members, their friends, and really that's not working for them. They've been working on their credit for the last 12 months and they still haven't been able to accomplish their goals. But if you go directly to someone like me, Rosalina Torres, that can help you, I will guide you in the next 3 to 6 months to accomplish your credit goal. So you do not have to live with bad credit for 7 years.
Yeah, good. So the purpose of the show today, we're just going to answer some basic questions as to how credit works. If you or anybody that you know is experiencing credit problems, I would highly, highly encourage you to share this video, press the share button, share the heart, share the like, share it, and share it to somebody who may have questions in regards to credit. On a side note, we're also answering live questions. So if you, a family member, a friend, have any questions in regards to credit,
send them in, send the messages, and
we're
here to answer any questions. Our consultations are always free. I mean, all we can do is help you accomplish the next goal, or answer a question that you don't know because you're not getting the right answers from people that you trust the most. And when you go to your bank, the bank's only going to offer you what they have to offer you. They're not there to offer you another product that they don't have. So if you're looking for something that's going to benefit you, come to me and I'll make sure that I give you options and you're not just forced into one product, because that's what they do when you go directly to your bank.
Yeah, or even just get multiple opinions. Like, visit your bank, visit somebody like yourself, get a couple of opinions so that you can understand it and really just be able to fix it. Because the more that you understand something, the more options that you're going to have. So
correct.
Let's just jump right into it. So how does credit report work? Is there more than one agency? Why do some of the different agencies report differently? Like, why do some of them say your credit's X amount, the other one?
They vary. Yeah, credit scores always vary. There's 3 credit bureaus, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. And the reason that they vary is because every single time you have something that outstanding, it might be a credit card, a car payment, a mortgage payment, or just something that might show up on your credit report, it doesn't report to all 3 of them. So that's why they vary. And you might have a collection account that might only show up on Experian and TransUnion and not on Equifax, or on Equifax and TransUnion. So that's why it's very important that you do look at your credit report every 6 months. And it's completely, when you get a copy of your credit report, it's not an inquiry. So don't think that you're hurting your credit score by finding out what's on your credit report. Please take a look at it. It's very important.
So essentially somebody can pull their credit report without, because that's a common fear, right?
Yes.
People think that like, hey, I don't want to check my credit score because I don't want to hurt it or make it any worse than what it actually is right now.
Right, and also the other fear is people just don't understand their credit. When they pull it up, to them it's just, it doesn't make sense. They don't know exactly what's on a credit report. And that's where we sit down and we go over with you. We go over exactly what personal information is showing up on your credit, your addresses, public information, judgments, inquiries, old or closed accounts that might still be weighing down on your credit score, then in reality that it was already paid off, there's no balance, or it's so many common reasons. There's more than, for every 3 consumers, there's 1 error or multiple errors on your credit report.
So does it hurt somebody to be able to pull their credit? Like there's a myth that the more, I don't know if it's a myth or not, but the more times that you pull your credit, like I'll give you an example. Sometimes people will shop around different loan officers.
Correct.
And they meet with 2 or 3 different ones. The 3 different loan officers will pull their credit. Does that affect their credit score when they do stuff like that?
When it's multiple inquiries in the same time frame, it doesn't, especially if it's for the same reasons. But now if you're going to be shopping around for different reasons, say you're going to go get a credit card, then an auto loan, and then a mortgage, and just completely opposite, they can't relate to each other at all, then yeah, that's a high risk. But if it's in the same time frame, say like a lot of times when you go shop for a car, your credit report gets run multiple times. That doesn't really impact your credit. Or when you're shopping for a mortgage as well, now if it's completely like if you're doing it in 1 month and then the following month and then the following month, yes, that really impacts you. So just be careful when you're going to be running your credit. Make sure it's something that you really want to look into. And before you even run your credit, you could just look at your own credit. Go to annualcreditreport.com and you know where you stand before you even go to any credit.
Does that cost anybody anything, annual credit report?
Annual credit report does not cost you anything. At all.
This is not an endorsement.
But also there's no credit scores there. So I really don't recommend that. There's another website that I recommend. It does charge you $1. It's Credit Check Total. You get your 3 credit scores and your 3 credit reports. And that one's $1, but as soon as you sign up for it, please go ahead and cancel it. Because if you don't, they will charge you a monthly service membership
to kind of continue servicing.
Yeah, but you don't have to keep it. I mean.
So essentially what I tell people, and I was on the same page as you, is that if they want to shop around for a loan, as long as it's in the same field, as long as they're not getting a credit inquiry for a home, a credit inquiry for a car, a credit inquiry for a credit card,
in the same field,
then it won't really affect it, right?
It does not affect
as long as it's in the same field. So people can essentially shop around different loan officers, shop around different financial institutions.
Yeah, as a consumer, you have the right to shop around to get the best rate as possible, to get the best options. So take advantage.
Absolutely.
Especially if you're working really hard and you're taking care of your credit.
Yeah, absolutely. And I see that some people are on. I see the right-hand side of the video. So if you have questions in regards to credit, if you've been wanting to purchase a home and you feel that your credit score is not up to par, ask us the question, ask us anything, and we'll be happy to answer them for you. So how is the credit score calculated?
It's calculated in 3 different ways. One of the 2 major ones that are weighed heavily on your credit is your credit history. I'm sorry, 30% is your credit history and 35% is your payments on time.
Okay.
So it's very important that you pay everything on time. When you don't pay your payments on time, the minute that you're late, it drops your credit score anywhere from 30 to maybe 50, 60 points.
Wow.
You know, especially if you're already in the borderline of having maxed out credit cards, and maybe you have a medical bill already reporting on your credit that you neglected. So my other recommendation is always stay on top of your bills. If you have any bills that come in the mail and you haven't taken care of them and they're still not reporting on your credit, get in contact with your creditors. Try to take care of that before it reports on your credit. Even if you make small payments of $20, $25, it won't go to collections.
So is a late payment a 30-day late that's reported, or is it just you miss the payment and the next day it's reported, or is there a certain period that...
Good question. So for example, if you have a credit card that's due on the 1st of the month, well, your credit card is due on the 1st of the month. Now, if you pass the 1st of the month, they're going to charge you a late fee and then your interest rate might go up, but you still have up to 30 days before it reports on your credit report. So it won't report on your credit report unless you're exactly 30 days late from the day that it was due. Now, for a vehicle, say if your car payment is due on the 10th of the month, well, you have a 10-day grace period to make your payment. But if you don't make that car payment in the 10-day grace period, then they charge you a late fee. But also, you have 30 days to pay it, or else it reports on your credit bureau.
So essentially, it's like about 30 days that you have.
Exactly, 30 days from the day that it's due.
Before it gets reported to the credit agency.
Exactly. So even if you're late, don't be hard on yourself. Just pay it, and don't, try to put it on an auto pay or something. But that would really... Don't stop paying your payments.
Now, what if something happens? Like let's say that I move addresses. Like, let's say I just bought a new home. I move addresses. My mail comes to my old address, and for some reason it doesn't get to me.
Okay.
Let's say I miss a payment by accident.
Okay.
People do that.
It happens. It happens to a lot of people. So what you have to do is you have to get in contact with the dispute department for the creditor. So, for example, if it's an American Express, that you were 180 days late because you never received that bill, and that's really carrying a big load on your credit score low, write a letter to them and tell them that, you changed address, you updated them, you still didn't receive it, you had another credit card with the same creditor, but you were confusing it, or whatever the situation might be. The reason that I'm sharing that is because I did have a client that had 180 days late due to that reason that he had moved. And they were even trying to get in contact, an attorney was trying to even collect from him because they had already gone to collections. And even though they were trying to collect from him, we still were able to get that credit report updated correctly, so it never happened. Because
so with your help, that guy was able to go back and essentially fix that 180 days late?
Yes,
you hear that, people?
Yes.
So if you are experiencing something like this, or have something that maybe is a credit report, talk to Rosa or somebody in the credit business.
Give us a call. We're here to help you. Our number is 805-760-5750. That's my cell phone number. You can also call I have a 1-800 number. It's 1-800-982-6700.
Sounds great. Okay, good. So, what are the things that affect a credit score? Like, obviously, you mentioned that if you miss a late payment, does the credit card debt to income ratio affect it as well too? Like, if your credit card, the limit is 9,000 and you're at 8,000, is that a pretty high ratio?
Oh yes, because you become a high risk client. So say for example, if you have credit cards, you have excellent payments, and you have a credit card for 10,000 plus another one for 5,000, and then you have a car payment that's halfway paid down. Well, you should be at a 720, 740 FICO score history and all that stuff. But sometimes you don't. You're probably like at 660. Well, it's because your credit cards are close to the limits, and as long as you pay them down and maybe keep them under 25%, then you're really going to get to that point where you want to be at again, 720, with having that type of credit balance. A couple of credit cards open with balances and perfect payments on cars.
So essentially, if you want to improve your credit, one of the tips to improve your credit is pay down your credit card balance.
Yes.
And have it right about the 25%, right?
Yes, always. Credit cards they're meant to be used and paid off every month. If you can't use it and pay it off every month, then I recommend that use it for an emergency, but try not to get into that habit. But it happens. But my biggest recommendation, if you know you're going to carry a balance of more than $5,000, is go apply for an unsecured personal loan. That's like an installment loan where you have it for a short period of time, anywhere from 2 to 3 or 4 years, and that really doesn't weigh down your credit score as much as if you have a maxed out credit card, even though you're making your payments on time. You know, restructure your debt. You know, find different options so that way you just have to have a balance on your credit, you know, reports.
And once again, by you taking a look at somebody's credit card, you can basically look at it and say, look, if we do this to your credit, if you pay down your credit cards, your credit score should increase by X amount. If you do this, this, and this, we can get your credit score up to this, right? You can do that.
Yeah, correct. There's not an exact calculation, you know, because everything varies. But based on my experience in the last 15 years and the last 3 to 5 years that I've been working on our clients' credit reports, I've been able to customize a credit plan based on a client's information. When I pull up their report, when I find out what their current financial situation, what their cash flow, what kind of money they have to be able to use that money to leverage out to pay off some of their negative debt to stop the bleeding. That's what I do. I customize a plan specifically for my clients so that they can reach their credit financial goals in about 3 to 6 months. If we don't reach that goal, then of course, you know, we have to find other ways. And most of the time that it doesn't work is because the client is not putting the efforts that we're recommending for them to do, or the actions.
Now, here's another thing. Can someone do this? Like, let's say that your credit line limit is $9,000. You owe $8,000. Can you request a credit line increase? Like, let's say, like you request a credit line increase from $9,000 to $15,000.
Of course.
Let's say that they grant it to you. Now your credit card to debt income is now like closer to 50%. As opposed to 90%, right?
That's really going to help you, but a lot of times that doesn't happen. But if you are able to, definitely, that's great. Call your creditors, especially if you've been with them for many years, call them and say, hey, I'm looking for a credit, increase. A lot of times they'll want to run your credit. A lot of times they'll say, you know what, you automatically qualify. Thank you for calling because you've been such a great value customer.
So essentially, what I used to do, or one of the tips my dad gave me growing up, he would always tell me to, even if you don't need the credit, always be requesting credit line increases. So in case you ever need something, or just to even keep your debt to credit card ratio pretty low, right?
No, exactly. So always, just like anything else, when you need it, you can't get it. And when you don't need it, you can get anything you want. So if you don't need credit, or right now you're not looking to buy a house, start working on your credit. Look at your credit. Don't be scared of it. A lot of times we are scared, and it's just the fear of the knowledge that we don't have. But that's what we're here. The credit store is here to help you. We'll walk you through the whole process. But definitely, it's very important to get something that you don't need right now, because when you need it, you're going to have it and you're going to know exactly what you're talking about.
So Rosa, what about those people that don't have any credit? What about those people like...
Those are my favorite clients.
That have never used credit, pay everything in cash, and just never had established credit. Is there something that we can do for them to get their credit score?
Yes, those are, to me, they're just like, if they're 18 years old again. What happens when you're 18? You have no history, you're not on the map. So that's how I treat, anyone it's 30, 40, 50 years old that has never established credit, or it's been 10, 15 years. Like today I met with the client. He was previously married to his wife, family of 5. A lot of things had happened to him before, so he had filed bankruptcy. And after he filed bankruptcy in '94, he never ever used credit again, had a checking account or nothing. So today when we put up his credit, what we did see is there was some medical collections in the credit. So those are going to be items that we're going to be able to help him dispute. And at the same time, we're going to help him establish positive credit, like maybe depositing some of his money from savings into like a secure credit card or secure personal loan. And that's going to put him on the map. And once those items that we're going to dispute, they get responded saying that either they're going to be deleted from the credit or he has to pay them down, then we negotiate the debt. So that will automatically stop the bleeding. So then this client continues to build positive credit. And he starts establishing 2 to 3 trade lines in about 3 to 4 months. And then maybe when he's in 6 months, maybe apply for an unsecured loan. But it's very, very easy for somebody that never has had credit. Another one too is, say for example, somebody that's even under the age of 18, If you have a child and you have excellent credit, or you have a family member, you can add them as an authorized user on the account, and that can also give them that history already. But if you're gonna try to use that, that as an author, if you want to go buy a house in the next couple of months, the underwriters will take a look at that. But if it's something that you're gonna go buy a house in about a couple of years, or maybe a year, that's okay. You can go ahead and be added as an authorized signer on somebody that has excellent credit, a long line of credit. So definitely I recommend to be added as an authorized, signer to be established credit as well.
And it's so interesting because I hear this story a lot. Like, people at some point had some sort of credit issue, like you said your client in 1994, and he just stopped using credit completely.
Completely. And that has happened to a lot of people, especially after the 2000 and, all that, the market down there. So a lot of people that lost their homes or lost their jobs, and the whole storms hit them, and to them, they're just scared because they just feel they've been lied to. Nobody gives them the clear direction. So, we're here to help you guys, see the light, that is actually there, that you can actually do things for yourself and your family, especially if you're still working. Even if you're self-employed, you can establish business credit as well. You don't have to have perfect personal credit to establish business credit, but that's really important as well. But we can work on both of them as well to help you have a balance for business and personal credit.
So essentially, if you had some sort of thing that is affecting your credit, no matter how long ago it was, even if it was a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, visit someone like Rosa as soon as possible so that you can get an analysis and be able to at least have a vision of what needs to happen to be able to fix it. Because if you're self-diagnosing yourself and you're kind of like, oh, I don't qualify, I don't do this, there's not really any help. But if you seek out the information is out there, and there's people that can help them, right?
Yes, there's definitely a lot of people that can help you get you into the right direction. Just give you peace of mind, even when you go home and you're worried about it because you just don't have an answer. But if somebody, that is not able to give you the right answer, sometimes you're trusting your bankers when you go to your bank, or even your co-workers, and they're telling you, oh, don't go to somebody that can help you with your credit. Why? Well, obviously you need help and you're not getting ahead. So definitely seek somebody that has been working with credit for the last, minimum of 5 to 10 years, because if somebody's been working on credit for the last couple of years, really, that's nothing. But
it's not enough experience.
It's not enough experience. You really, really need to understand different situations, different scenarios. And I thank God that He gave me this experience that I can give forth to, my community. And me personally, I've gone through hardships as well with my family. I have a family of 5, and life has not been perfect. But thanks to the knowledge or even the hardships that I've gone through that I've been able to overcome, I can share it with you guys as well.
Oh, great. Now, somebody, Alex Gonzalez from Kansas, she's from Kansas, asked, what's the difference between secured and unsecured credit cards? And I know she's young. I think she's like 18, 19. So
okay.
Can you answer that for her?
Yeah, great question, Alex. So the difference between unsecured and secured is, when it's unsecured, is a creditor letting you borrow their own money. So for example, if you apply for Wells Fargo Bank, they're going to offer you a credit line of $500 to $1,000 or maybe more. So that's money that they're allowing you to borrow without you putting any of your money. So that's going to report on your credit, and that can give you the great history. So eventually they can give you higher limits, or other doors can open up with other creditors. But when it's your own, when it's secured, then it's your own money. You have to make a deposit. So it's like $300. There's a Capital One. If you put a $200 deposit with Capital One for secured credit card, they'll give you a higher limit. So I recommend Capital One. Or if you go to Wells Fargo Bank, you can apply for a secure credit card, $300, $500, but they're only going to give you what you applied for. But Capital One gives you a little bit more. But that's the difference. It's secured to your own money, or unsecured means it's their money.
So essentially when I've seen because I have a cousin that is younger, he went to the bank and they're like, hey, you don't qualify for a credit card. That doesn't mean that you can't get a secured credit card. A secured credit card means that it's your own money, and you're basically using your own money to establish credit, right? Because even with a secured credit card, you're establishing credit, right? It's not like a debit card, correct?
Correct, exactly. So even with a secured credit card, you're definitely establishing great credit. And a lot of times when you go to your own bank, even if they deny you for a credit card, that does not mean that you do not qualify. So don't be hard on yourself. Just know that they did not apply you for your, they didn't qualify you based on their guidelines or how they want to qualify their clients. So try a different bank, or maybe come speak to me and I can recommend you where else you can apply at, because you know, with the credit score, we're able to show you what there is available for you, not just what's across the street from you or what's in your town. There's a lot of options, and that's where, you know, we're here to share it. You know.
And like you said, I mean, most people would go to their bank, like Wells, Chase, or whatever bank it is, and just get a credit card from them or ask them, but they're only going to expose you to the products that they have available.
That's it.
They come to somebody like you, you're like, well, Capital One does this, Wells Fargo does this person does that.
Yes.
And then you have no interest in who they pick, right?
I have no interest
Zero
at
interest
all.
whatsoever.
No,
So it's
my
like,
interest is you. You're my client. You're someone that I want to see you succeed. So I'm going to make sure that the interest is you, that I'm going to customize a plan that's going to fit you and your family's needs to accomplish you buying your house or refinancing your vehicle to get the rate that you want, you know, or being able to help your kids to, you know, get their education. Or just getting out of debt. I mean, or even anyone that's struggling with student debt, call us. I have so many people that we've been able to help out struggling with student debt. That there's a lot of programs that the government's offering, and if you don't understand what they're offering, call us. We'll help you understand it.
so there's solutions for people that have student debt.
As well.
There are solutions.
Yes.
Do you see that a lot now? Like people like are behind on their student debt?
Yes.
Or people can't pay the loans back because of the way the job market is, or any of that?
Oh yeah, because a lot of people, once they finish school, they don't get a job that they want or that they need to pay down their student, you know, debt, because of course life comes in the way, you know, rent or just food or just the basic of living. But there's a lot of programs for you guys, so give us a call. We're here to help you and share that information.
So is it like consolidation programs, or what? Like
sometimes there are consolidation programs, other times they're just programs that are there to kind of put your payments on hold, and you don't have to make any payments sometimes for the life of the loan or until your certain amount of income has changed. So for example, I recently helped a lady that her income is very minimal, so she's going to qualify for no payments. And even if she starts making above $35,000, then she's only going to make payments of $18 a month.
$18 a month?
That's nothing. So that's very reasonable.
Was she happy?
Very happy. Very happy. And so with that, we're able to help her stop the bleeding and help her dispute some of the items on her credit that she hasn't been able to, by not knowing, dispute, and help her establish the positive credit. So in about 4 to 5 months, she's going to have the credit that she wants to be able to, you know, do so many things, you know, take her kids on vacation or, you know.
Do whatever it is that she wants
whatever
to do.
it is.
Yeah, good. Okay,
Qualify
good.
for first-time home buyers. Programs with Jose Luiz.
I can help them.
Of course.
And then one of the things that's really important, because I'm a big proponent of having credit. The reason I am is because essentially you can use other people's money to make money. Like for example, like I love investing in real estate. That's one of my passions. And that's one of the principles that my dad taught me, that without credit, you can't team up with the bank, or you can't partner with the bank to let you borrow money. So it's so crucial for anybody that is thinking about buying real estate, anybody that wants to progress. Credit is one of the most important things in just business and life, because without credit, you can't really do anything.
You can only go so far without credit, you know, and that's why a lot of people stay in the same situations with, even though they say, well, I haven't used credit for a long time, it's all been cash. Okay, have you advanced too much? Not really, because everything's been in cash. The people that are leveraging out their credit, they are, you know, moving a little bit further, because not only are they paying less money overall, they're saving all that money, they're also able to qualify to finance things much quicker.
Is it ever too late for somebody to go visit you? Like,
never too late. Never too late.
Never. So it's not like somebody can have like the worst credit and just be like, hey, I can't. There's never too late. It's never too late.
It's never too late. I mean, if I can't help you, I definitely will tell you I cannot help you, but I will recommend you to the right person, or I will tell you what's the next steps that I would want you to take if you take it. but that does not mean that I cannot at least give you more information, give you peace of mind, and just give you educational tools that's really going to not only benefit you individually, but your spouse or your children or your network of people that, you guys empower each other.
That's great. So essentially, they come visit you, you'll be provided with options and solutions. Okay, good. What's the most that you've ever seen a credit score increase?
Oh, I've seen a credit scores, boost in about 2 weeks, 80 points.
80 points.
There was a client that had been trying to apply for credit for the last 2 years, and he knew he had good credit. He's like, I pay everything on time. I'm never late on anything, but he doesn't look at his credit every 6 months. So of course he would try to apply for credit, but he would get denied, but nobody would tell him what was wrong with his credit. And then he finally asked somebody like, okay, who can I go to help me because I'm getting denied? So he came to me, thank God, they recommended him to me. And sure enough, we pulled up a copy of his credit report, and it was a delinquent mortgage started showing up on his credit the last 6 months that he had nothing to do with him whatsoever, no name, no address, nothing. But if somebody would have just shared that with him, I think he would have just solved the problem. And sure enough, that was fixed, within a couple of weeks that we disputed it, and his credit score jumped. Other people, their credit scores, an average boost of FICO scores I've seen is about 40 points in about 2 to 3 months, as long as the disputes are done, establishing the right type of credit. And just, of course, not relying on your credit when you don't have good credit already. Even if you get pre-approvals in the mail, that does not mean that you're going to qualify. Pre-approval is just, hey, let's just look at your information, let me look at your credit, and let me turn you down. That's what it's kind of saying if you already know that you don't have good credit. You're not going to get approved. And if you're going to get approved, you're going to get hit with high fees. I mean, you've heard of these companies, that they're taking your money like, what is it called? Progreso Financiero. I mean, it's a good company if you want to establish a little bit of installment credit, but really they're charging you high rates. Or Springleaf Financial, high interest rates. One Main Financial, high interest rates. But if you can get there, start there, even if the rates are a little bit higher than you want, but improve your credit, then you're going to get better credit and go to, Ventura County Credit Union, go to Western Federal Credit Union, Premier America Federal Credit Union. Then you can apply for the better interest rates that you will qualify. But it's okay to get a little bit in there.
If you like the information, show us some love.
Show us some love, yes. Don't be shy. We're all happy for each other.
Give us some likes. Give us some love. Let me see some of those
any
hearts.
more questions?
Good. So it could take as little as 2 weeks. It could take as much as like 4 months, 6 months, a year to fix some credit.
Yeah, where I really see the change in the credit scores is in about 4 to 6 months. That's when the really biggest change happens, because at the beginning, the first couple of months, you're just looking at what's wrong with your credit. You're trying to dispute the information, but it's not where you want it to be at yet. But once we get to the 4th or the 5th month, then you really see, okay, what has worked, what didn't work, what needs to really change to make it work. And that's where I see the final steps of it are when it gets to the 6th month. And we definitely, improve their credit from the time they start with us, a minimum of 50 points or higher that we offer in our services at the credit store.
Is there a fee for somebody to come visit you?
No fee, no fee, no fee. Our consultations are completely free. We do charge for our services. Our services are minimal. They're $6.99. We do offer $500 cash advance if you want to get started with our services for credit consulting. And that $500, you can use it to start establishing positive credit, or also paying off some small debt that might show up on your credit report, like a Time Warner cable bill, which is very common, cell phone bill, a medical bill, something like that, or establish a secure credit card with the $500. But with that cost, you will be in a better credit financial situation, and with the credit score where you want it to be, and you're going to be able to qualify for what you've been wanted from the beginning.
Good. And if they want to get a hold of you, where can they get a hold of you?
Give me a call. My cell phone number again is 805-760-5750, or you can call my toll-free number is 1-800-982-6700, and that connects directly to my cell phone as well.
Perfect. Definitely going to visit her when I'm down in Cali. All right, cool.
Awesome.
So this has been a production by the Jose Luiz Morales Show. This is episode number 4. It's Rosalina Torres. She works for the credit score. If you have any questions in regards to credit, you heard her. The consultation does not cost absolutely anything. I always recommend, as opposed to doing a self-diagnosis, like saying, oh, I can't do it because of this, or I can't do it because of that. Visit a professional, visit somebody that specializes in that niche. Have them take a look at your situation and advise you as to what you need to do to fix your credit. Because at least this way you'll have some sort of direction and you'll have a target that you need to move towards to get it fixed. So Jose Luiz Morales, RE/MAX, Gold Coast Realtors, Morales Group. Our phone number, if you want to get a hold of us, is 805-228-4672, 805-228-4672. Any last words?
Just again, thank you again, Jose Luis, for having me. I look forward to working with you. You're a great, great professional man here, and beautiful wife, there, or fiance. But you guys are amazing, and I'm so excited to continue to just share, the knowledge that's been shared with me over the years. So that way I see you guys succeed. If I see you guys succeed, then that makes me feel good, and I can go home and just be with my family and just find this joy that brings me peace. So, we're here to help each other, not to see each other's run down, but to encourage each other. And if somebody's not giving you the right answers, give us a call. The credit store will give you the right answers. No lies. The credit store, 805-760-5750.
Sounds great. And if you want to share this video with somebody, it's going to be recorded on my page right here. You can share it with somebody if you or somebody that you know. It'll be on my website pretty soon, so you could also share it with somebody there. So Jose Luiz Morales,
Rosalina Torres.
we are out.